Hey, what's up guys? My name is Bryce, and if you're in the market for some ambient lighting, well, today we're going to review these Onforu smart LED lights. And these are wireless. They work off of a mobile app, 16 million colors, pretty versatile in the different ways that you can mount them. Anyway, Onforu reached out, wanted us to check these out for them. So we're going to open up the box, see what's inside, get them set up for you, and show you how they work, all coming up after this. Okay, so these are Wi-Fi enabled, energy saving, pack of 2, and talks a little bit about the LED lighting. It could be mounted up to, it looks like 120 degrees. You can angle that on the mount. Working temperatures. All right, just a couple specs on the back. Shows your wattage, your adapter voltage, color temperature range if you're wondering that. It is Wi-Fi enabled, 120 degree beam angle. Shows your energy cost. No mercury in it if you're wondering. Okay, and if you're wondering the dimensions on this, it's about 10 inches in length and about a little under 1.75 inches wide, and the depth on it's about 1.5 inches. All right, let's check out what's in the box. We've got a product manual, registration card, looks like some 3M tape. Looks pretty well packaged here. So here are the lights. Not too big, but we're gonna check them out and see what they look like here. So not too heavy, made of a kind of a tough plastic. It's got your lens cover on the light, nothing really going on top or the sides. The back, I think we'll see a mounting bracket here in just a second, or you can do it in the stand there for those grooves. On the back here, it looks like they've got a Y adapter you can plug in. Here's your power adapter with a little on-off switch. These are going to be your mounting brackets to mount to a wall, then snap those in. These can be your stands that you can sit down on a table or flat surface and then have those angled up towards a wall. Some mounting screws and anchors. And these are some mounting stands here. Looks like here these are pretty heavy weighted devices. Looks like the power cord's going to route through here, but these are pretty, I don't know, pretty cheap plastic devices here, but looks like those will just snap in there, and yeah, your power cord will route through there. That gives it some weight to it, so those aren't going to fall over on you, and a nice kind of foam padded base to it, so it's not going to scratch any surfaces or anything. Okay, so decided to use these mounting stands. You can see where I routed the cord through the bottom there. It's just going to come out the back right there with the cord. So it sits flush on the bottom with this kind of a foam base, so it's not going to scratch any of your surfaces or anything. It does come with these little screws, so that little foam base, and it's kind of like a weighted base to it. It does have some of these little screw holes here that you can just run these in there to keep it secure to that plastic base, the little cradle that it stays in. So I'm just going to get the rest of those screws in on both of these here. Okay, you can just see what it looks like with the mounting stand here, the little cradle that we've got, as well as these little simple stands that you can mount either this way or turn around this way depending on the angle that you want it. So I'm just going to use this angle here, just a little bit smaller angle, but you might want it angling higher on a wall or something, so you can flip that over if you'd like. And remember, you also have, you know, this 3M tape, so if you want to stick those or tack those to something, you can. And you also have these little mounting brackets that just screw right into a wall. It's got these little clips, so you can just snap those right into the wall. So if you want them on the sides of a TV or back behind something or fixed to a wall somewhere, then you've got that option as well. Okay, so we're just going to go through the manual here. It looks like it works with Amazon Alexa as well as Google Home, which is pretty sweet, so we'll have to check that out. We're just going to go through these steps to download the app, register the product, and kind of get all logged in, and then we're going to see how that app works. Okay, so we have the Smart Life app already installed. We're going to open it, and I previously already registered with my email address. No devices are added yet, so we're going to go here to add device. You see the menu on the side. We'll go to lighting, and there are different light source options here. We're going to do the Wi-Fi option, and this is just a reminder that you must use a 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi network in order for this to work. Okay, so we'll add the network password there, hit next. All right, so this next step, we have to reset the device, so we just have to power on 3 separate times. until they start blinking rapidly, which they should do here in a second. Yes, they are. So we can see that. So we will confirm that that's blinking rapidly. We'll hit next. It says adding the device. Okay, and those lights just stopped flashing. Okay, now it's moved on to registering on the cloud. The device is set up, added successfully, shows both devices are connected, so we'll hit done. All right, so just to show you a couple features of the app, we've got both lights here. You can switch them on or off directly from this little tile for each one. You can go into them individually and tap on or off, or the power button down here. When it's on, you can see there's different options up here. So if you want to go to white, change the temperature, the brightness. If you go to color, this is where you just have the color wheel. Change the color to any of these. Also the brightness, contrast, kind of all those options here. Scene, you have just kind of a variety. You've got a night scene, maybe some reading, a work light, some leisure, something soft it shows, colorful. If you leave this for a second on these last few, it'll kind of cycle through some colors. And dazzling also cycles through colors, maybe just some different ones. This last one called gorgeous, it just fades in between the colors, so it's just a little bit different scene selection there. So as we go through this, you can also see at the bottom here how you've got time left. So if you want it to just time out and to turn off after a certain amount of time, you can do that, or schedule of what time you want it on to come on and to turn off. So you've got those options there for you. So while you're in here, you can change some settings for this device. So if I wanted to say this name, you can set location, set different rooms, set up a specific icon for it. This is where you would set up some of the other things like the automation or tap to run that we had in the last menu. This is where you would also set up Alexa and Google Home Assistant and share the device with other individuals, add it to your home screen. So now as I go back to the home button, you've got the one on the left and the one on the right, or just whatever you want to call them. So back on the home page, you'll have a couple options down here at the bottom. We're going to go to the smart option. If you hit plus up here, you're going to have a couple different options. We'll get into this tap to run here in just a second, but you can change it so when the weather hits a certain condition that it would do something different depending on what conditions you set. When the location changes, based on a schedule, when the device status changes. This tap to run, so you can have it set on a delay. You can have your Google Home or Alexa devices set up to run it based on voice commands. And then if you do run device, so if we just choose the left one, you can get it to switch on or off, or just reverse the switch. So if it's on and you click it, then it'll turn off, and vice versa. You can control the brightness as well as the color temperature. One thing I don't see in here that I'd like to see is to be able to create one of these functions with a specific color instead of just white with the temperature of that white. You'll see back here on the main page that we've set up a couple of these. It's also going to be on your main home page right up here at the top. So this is just an on-off condition that I set, so that's just going to switch things on or off. And you can also do them individually right here. I've also set one up for warm white at 50% brightness, so you've got that option as well, or if you just use that switch to turn it off. Now I did notice if you go in and want to turn it on here, go to color, so we're on red, and then you turn it off, and say I'll just do that just to that one here, and this one you can see is still on our warm white, this one is still on our red. So now when you use the switch on off, they're just going to come on from whatever the last setting was. All right, just to wrap up, these are pretty decent LEDs. It's awesome that they're Wi-Fi, comes in a pack of 2. They're smart. They work on, you know, over the Wi-Fi with a pretty decent app. It only works at 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi. There's not a lot to them. They're pretty light, but you know, they seem like pretty decent quality, especially for the price. You can pick these up for 80 bucks or 10 bucks off that at the time of filming this. There was just the one option missing in the app to have kind of your quick one tap with colors, and so it's really just your on off from the last setting. So you've got, you know, your red and blue here, or I can just do the one tap to go to warm white. But after you've kind of set it to a white color, then your on off is really just going to do kind of that last color, and I have to go back in each individual one and set the color. So that's really the only con or something that we would recommend to the manufacturer. But overall, pretty sweet little LED lights. We're going to use these just for some backlighting or ambient lighting during our videos or other things. Maybe stick them around the TV, see how they light up. Alright, if you liked the video, please give us a thumbs up and consider subscribing to our channel and hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any upcoming videos on new tech gear and other devices coming out. And that's it from Two Nerdy Families. We'll see you next time.